All right, good morning, everybody. This is Brian Stickney. We're here with Forex Joe as well, and today is our morning installment of Forex Live, and we're here to take some trades live. We're going to show you how we utilize Forex Joe's daily regimen in conjunction with the daily reports to find trades that we can place under live market conditions. We were here on Wednesday. We placed a few trades. None of them actually triggered. So that was one of those days. Sometimes you do the work and we don't have a reward. Other days we do the work and we have a small reward. Other days we do the work, we have a great reward. It just kind of depends. It's one of the reasons that we always trade with protective stops, and we don't get in too much of a hurry about what's happening in the marketplace. Don't want to get caught up in the exuberance there. Before we get started, though, we do have to pop over here and let you know that unique experiences and past performances do not guarantee future results. We know that trading involves risk, and is one of those things that we should only be using risk capital for. I've said it before. If your trading capital comes from a credit card where you have to make a certain percent interest every month to pay the nut, or if you took out a loan from Guido down the street, and he's going to come take your kneecaps if you don't pay up, you're going to make a very different trading decision than you would if you're using true risk capital. And it's very important to realize that because emotion plays such a big part of trading. And I guess the lawyers and the legalese folks, they understand that, and they want to make sure everyone knows that trading does involve risk, and we should make sure that we're only using risk capital for that. So I'm going to pause for a second, let you read through that, and then we'll get on with our trading day. Alrighty, so what's going on today? We had some news just a minute ago. Caused a little bit of blip here and there in the markets. Euro took off like a shot, but we're not going to worry too much about that. We're going to go back over to our report, work through the regimen, work through our checklists so that we're taking a very consistent approach to the marketplace. And we'll see if we can find some trades. We'll see what's out there. There's a lot of news today, so today may be another one of those days where we're kind of cautious and we actually end up maybe not trading, and that's fine. So we'll go through that. And Daniel, I'll answer your question in just a second. So actually, let's answer your question now. So Daniel just asked a question. He says that his charts are more cluttered, and he wants to get rid of the ADR numbers and the thermal grids way over to the dashboard. So it sounds like what might be occurring there. So here's what we're doing. So Daniel's asking a question just about what the setup is here and why. And his looks maybe a little bit different. It sounds like maybe his stuff's pulled over to the side. Maybe his information's pulled over like this, or something where you're not able to see all the information. So let's just go ahead and talk about setting up a new chart before we get too far into it. So as we're entering the trading day, it's probably a good idea to do that, just refresh our charts, because we have some numbers on here from a previous trading day. What we'll want to do is just go over to your templates and apply the FTT pending order template. And we'll do that right here, FTT pending order pro. And when you apply that template, and you can either choose yes or no for here. When you apply that template, it should refresh your screen for you. And when it refreshes, depending on what time frame you're on, I'm on a 15-minute time frame, it should put on your thermal grids, and it should automatically set your charts to auto scroll and chart shift. Those should both be selected so that you've got a little bit of a shift. The chart shift is what takes you from this hard right edge and gives you a little bit of room over here to the right-hand side. That's the chart shift. And the auto scroll is what allows it to keep printing new bars on the right-hand side, as opposed to just kind of being stuck with wherever your screen happened to be when you loaded that up. So that should automatically engage both of those buttons. And then from there, you've got your thermal grids automatically posted. Your session indicators are on here. So we have the peach session, which is the Tokyo session. Then we have the gray, which is London, and then this blue, which is the U.S. session. As they overlap, there's a different color. So as London and Tokyo overlap, it turns yellow, and then as London and the U.S. overlaps, it turns pink. So this just kind of lets us know what session we're currently trading in. If you want to get rid of any piece of this, all you would do is you right-click, and you go to the indicators list. And once you're in the indicators list, if you want to remove, let's say, the ADR information, you can click that and say delete, and it'll remove all those ADR lines from your screen. So that's how you can take pieces on. If you want to remove your sessions, you can do the same thing. You can just delete that, and it'll give you a cleaner look. I like the sessions. The sessions can really come into play. There's a lot of trades that I personally like to take based on retests of highs or lows of certain sessions. So I like to have the session indicators on there. But anyway, that's how you can customize that if you so choose. And then of course, you have your red and green lines, which are the lines that we'll use to place trades from. So I hope that helps. Let me know if that didn't fully answer your question, but that should be a pretty in-depth response there. All right, so getting on with our trading day now. We're going to jump in, and that's great. You guys be interactive as much as you can. If there's questions you have about why I'm doing certain things, or if you have questions for Joe if I'm doing something, and you have a question, to get just to have Joe reiterate, maybe what I'm saying in a different way, put it in there, ask it. That's what we're here for. These are meant to be training sessions. They're meant to be an opportunity for you to watch me, use Forex Joe's system live in the markets, but then also ask questions about why. And that's very important. So for the day, we should have a few things open. We need to have our trading terminal open, so MetaTrader 4, with one of our templates applied that allows us to use the pending order, parking pending orders, because our system, once we enter an order, we know what our maximum risk is going in. Then we have profit-taking levels that will allow us to peel pieces of that trade off and lock in profit. So we want to make sure that those are this software is open. Beyond that, we should have open our daily report, which can be found in the members area by going to under Forex Alerts, going to daily report, and then selecting the top one. So we'll be using the daily report. And then, of course, I'm using my my checklist here. This is Forex Joe's daily regimen. I print one of these out, and this is the checklist. This is what we follow day in, day out whenever we're taking trades. And this gives us that consistent approach to the marketplace. That's very important to, no matter what you're doing, no matter what system you're using, it's very important to have a consistent approach. And Forex Joe's printed this out and given us a step-by-step to ensure that we don't deviate, a step-by-step system that we can follow. So we need to have that, and we'll be working through that. Then, of course, from there, I have open FinViz and Forex Factory, and we'll talk about those in just a second. All right, so jumping into things, walking through the checklist. Number one, we're going to start with the Euro USD. So I'm just writing on my page as we go through this. The Euro USD currently trading at 1.36424. So 36.42 is the current price on the Euro USD. We see that right down here. And next thing we're going to do, before we even start looking at our charts, is we're going to collect some very important information. We need to know what our channels are. What channels are we dealing with? Well, we see right off that we have a channel top at 36.41, and we have a channel bottom at 35.42. Below that, 33.29. Above it, 37.28. Nothing that we'll probably see today, but just kind of a number for our back pocket. We had been pushing down quite a bit over the last week or so here in the Euro USD. So if we do push down to that 33.29 level, just kind of have that in the back of your mind for a nice area to trade off of. Next, we have to look at our support resistance numbers. What are our support resistance numbers telling us? Well, we're currently trading at 36.42. So what do we see? Well, we have support below us at 36.30. If we break through that, 36.21. To the upside, if we break higher, we have 36.54, and then 36.95, that 3,700 area. All right. What's next? Well, now we're going to move down. We'll pop over to our chart. We need to see about what the market's doing. Are we trending or are we oscillating for the day? And right now, it looks like we're actually oscillating for a bit. We opened down here. I mean, we could say we're in a slight upward trend. We have been higher lows and pushing to higher highs. So it is a slight upward trend, but at the same time we haven't moved that many pips either. So that's kind of a piece there. But the big telltale sign here is have we broken out of the channel? Have we broken above 36.41 or below 35.42? Trying to not get dyslexic on you there. Have we broken above 36.41 or below 35.42? And the answer there is, well, we don't really know yet. We have pushed above that channel high. We have broken it. We pierced it. We don't know where this is going to close yet. It could still have got 3 minutes on this candle. We could very easily push through here and close above 36.41. It could very easily continue to repel off of that channel top. But right now, yes, we have pierced it. Remains to be closed. I really like to see a candle close to give me a confirmed break, but we have pierced that level shortly after news right there. Next up is our average daily range. What's our ADR? Well, today we've moved 63 pips, 62.9 pips, and this ADR has been getting lower and lower just as we're collecting more of that very range-bound data from the end of the year. And we had a couple of big moves, but overall this pair had been kind of stuck in a 60 pip range, 70 pip range. Typically, we see this pair move into the 90 to 100 pip range. That's what we were seeing through 2012 and part of 2013. But it slowed down. 2013 was a very odd year. We never really broke out of the summertime blues because of some other things that were factored in towards the end of the year. So, here we sit with a very, very tight range and kind of a decision point. When's it gonna break out of that and start moving back to that 90 to 100 pip channel that we've been so used to seeing? But right now we've moved 63 pips and our range is probably about 70 overall. Next up, is there news? What news is there coming up? Well, I like to use Forex Factory. There's also Bloomberg or FX Street. There's a ton of news sources out there. So we can check Forex Factory here, and I'm looking for red reports. And what I'd like to see here is just to make note of what red, high-level, high-impact reports might be coming out that would impact my trading day. Now remember, on Tuesday we had some reports that were coming out that impacted us. Now again today we're looking here for potential reports. We have unemployment claims that just occurred. It was kind of a non-issue. It wasn't higher or lower. It was just kind of even with what the forecast was. So not much there. Next up is the Philly Fed. This will be an interesting report to see, how we're performing. This tells us, I thought it told us actually what we were looking for here. Yeah, down here, if you like to expand this, it'll tell you why we should care about this report and what the what the result is of it. But ultimately, just as manufacturing increases, it's kind of pretty intuitive, right? As manufacturing increases, that means the economy is probably getting a bit better as well. So eyes will be here on the Philly Fed, and then at 11, Bernanke speaks. That's always an interesting time because the markets, even if he doesn't say anything, will chop around. You've got market makers entering orders here and there, protecting their risk, maybe trying to push the market to certain levels, and we have to be cognizant of that. So Bernanke speaking is always a really big deal, even if it's not truly a planned speech that should truly impact us. All eyes are on him, and sound bites will make the market react. So we have a lot going on today. So here in about an hour, we've got the Philly Fed, and then shortly after that, Bernanke speaking. So this is one of those days where you want to be very cautious and potentially even stay on the sidelines until the news releases are over. But with that said, let's go through our last piece. So that's a long way of saying news. Yes. So I like to put down what news there is, and then the time that I would potentially start looking to trade again. So for me, it would be it's very near the end of my trading day, so I may actually be out of the market all day today, just to err on the side of safety. There's no reason to have risk, beyond what we can at some level control. Every trade has risk, but we can have more controlled risk if we're not just jumping into the middle of a news report that could whip it one way or the other, without any real sense of direction from the actual markets. So news, yes, there is news coming up, and then finally the last thing here that I like to look at is the FinViz dashboard, just to see where we're currently landing. And this has been the futures market has been futures market's been not as correlated as we like to see here recently. It's not been behaving in the way it typically does. Why I look at FinViz is we like to see what's happening in the Dow, what's happening in crude, what's happening in gold and silver, because those things tie back to the U.S. dollar. As positions are taken here, and we see the Dow increasing, crude, gold, silver increasing, typically we see money flowing out of the U.S. dollar. And then conversely, if money's flowing into these, it's flowing, what did I say? If money's flowing into these, it's flowing out of the dollars. If it's flowing out of these, then we're cashing out positions and we're holding them liquid in U.S. dollars. So that's why we like to have a look here. But the last really the last couple of weeks, we've seen Dow gaining strength, crude gaining strength, gold and silver kind of sitting even, but the dollar was strengthening with that. And that's a very odd thing. Typically, those are inversely correlated. So when you're seeing both moving together, or in a way that they wouldn't typically move, it's just another reason to be cautious and maybe stay out of those trades, stay on the sidelines. So again, today we're seeing Dow slightly down, crude slightly down, silver pretty much even, gold slightly up, but the U.S. dollar is slightly down. So it's a very, very mixed bag that we're seeing right now in the futures market. So it's a very mixed futures market. All right, so we've just gathered a bunch of information. We walked through this. We had a look to see where we were currently trading. We had a look to see what news events were occurring, what our support resistance levels are, and what the futures market is up to. And then from here, we can step in and place a trade. Now, as I mentioned, erring on the side of caution, for me personally, as far as my live trading today, I probably will stay out of this and not take a trade. But if we're going to just talk about this from a training aspect and where we would like to see, where would we typically place our lines, let's go ahead and have a look at that. So what we would do first of all is put on our channels. So we have a channel top at 36.41, which is right about here. We have a channel bottom at 35.42. Let's see if we can make this scroll down a little bit. See a little extra real estate here. Here we go. We have a channel bottom at 35.42 right there. And then we've got some support and resistance levels. We have support at 36.30, resistance at 36.54. So we've got support at 36.30, which is right about here. And we have resistance at 36.54, right about there. And then 36.21, we continue to break down. Which is right there. All right. So we've got support level, channel top, resistance level up here. And then if we push a little bit higher than there, we've got that 36.95, 3700 area, which is way up here. Just looking top to bottom, that's probably a bit of a stretch. I don't think we'd ever, could get there if it really pushed hard. All right, so what are we going to look at for potential trades? We've got a few. We obviously have this channel top here at 36.40, 36.41. We had a channel top. We can stay behind this previous high, and we can look to take profit right down here at this area of resistance. Now, this is a counter trend trade of what we're seeing for the day. I mean, again, we know that the trend is slightly up for the day. All we could really count on right now, and if this was a regular market condition, we would expect to bounce the first time, but we'd be looking at this a bit differently. For a buy, we'd pull down here to have a look at this 36.29, 36.30 area. Again, keep our stop loss pretty tight, keep our profit taking pretty darn quick, and set her up just like that. Then from there, we'd bracket that in, move to buy and sell, and voila. well, voila, there it goes. We're in the market. So again, we like to keep our stops pretty darn tight. Oops, grabbed the wrong line there. So I want to delete my stop. I just want to adjust it. Pull that down just a bit. All right, so there we go. So, under a normal condition, what we'd be watching for here, we've got a range-bound market. We've been, not any huge major news coming up. We would expect to see, chops and pullbacks. Channel top is a great spot to look for for potential pullback. The buy is, right here near the Asia high. So that's a great trade I love to take. When during the London session or even open of the U.S., we've broken beyond the Asia high by 15 or 20 pips, sometimes even more, and it flows back down, it'll often come back and retest this Asia high or conversely the Asia low in the other direction and give us an opportunity to enter the marketplace. So that's why I'm looking here. It's also a support level in this case. So this makes for a very nice trade for us. Now, keeping in mind, we've got news and we've got a Bernanke announcement. Trading live, I would not place this trade. I would just simply stay on the sidelines for the day. We've got too much news through my period of trading for me to take. So, but just talking through how we would apply this, this is what we would do under a normal condition. All right, next up, pound USD. We've got pound USD trading currently at 63.68. 63.68. So just going through the process one more time. We'll do it a little bit faster. That took us about 20 minutes to get through that because of all of the commentary, but we can go a bit faster on this. First thing we'll do, let's just go ahead and reapply our template to knock out those lines. So the pending order pro right there. Alrighty. And he said we're currently trading at 63.68. Daily report tells us that we have a channel top at 64.05 and a channel bottom at 62.85. No real alignment, no numbers we're too concerned about right now. If we do continue down, 60.44 would be our next number down. Support resistance levels, 63.68. Well, what do we have? We've got 63.21 down below us for support, and then 62.85, which also coincides with that channel bottom. To the upside, we have 63.81 and then 64.05, which coincides with that channel top. So pretty tight range there. If we break through that, then 64.17 would be our next number up. All right, trending or oscillating on this currency pair. Looks like we're oscillating, pushed down a bit, came right back, and we're very near, just a few pips off of where we opened this current trading session. Next question is the big one. Have we broken out of our channel? Have we broken above 64.05 or below 62.85? And the answer there is no. Not even close. Just kind of caught right in the middle. All right. News. Yeah, we know that there is news coming up, and that's keeping us away, and the futures market is mixed. Let's keep an eye on that as the pit traders, the floor traders, get fully underway here in about 10 minutes. All right, so what are we going to trade? Well, again, under regular conditions, if we didn't have news staring at us, we'll just talk about it this way. What do we have? Well, let's go ahead and put our lines on. We've got 64.05, which is right up here, and we've got 62.85, which is right down here. Those are our channels. Obviously, safe money would just play a sell right off of that channel top. If you wanted to be fairly aggressive on it. Looking today at the term, we've seen this area, this 63.71, setting up as a really nice compressed channel. We have 63.81 though from our report. So 63.81 as a resistance point from Forex Show's daily report, and then down here we have 63.21 as a resistance support level right down here. So we definitely have some channels that are setting up. If we compress the channel We see this area right through here, the 63.70, that's really shown as to be there's a nice resistance. It's hitting it again. Resistance didn't close above it, making it test again here. This might be a great level to trade from, looking for a sell, but we can go a little bit higher. There's two areas I would look at. If I were live in the marketplace, I'd push a little bit beyond this, because this 63.05, it's a support resistance level and it's a channel top. So if we did push to there, I would see more likelihood of it reversing than just at a resistance level like this one. So I would go ahead and park a buy. I would park a sell. Apologies for that. Right up here. Keep our stop. Get this out of the way. Remember, it's always better to let the market move to you than try to take what's there right now. All right, unless it's just screaming at you, which it does sometimes. All right, so I'd go here and look to keep my stop loss pretty tight. I would also look to take profit very quickly and see if we can park a sell there. As far as buys go, I'd park it on the other side of this, right down here at this channel at this 63.21, which is looking a little bit heavier. We could compress this channel actually a bit here. We saw 63.45. If we compress the channel, as Forex Joe likes to say, sometimes, and these numbers are put out in advance, and sometimes you see new channels setting up on an intraday basis. And we see this 63.46 area. We pushed down. We had support, came back down, support, came back down, support, finally broke through it. Resistance, and it broke it. Hasn't come back to retest it. So we could look for a buy actually right down here for our buy trade. So we do that again. Oops. Keep our stop loss pretty tight. Look to take profit fairly quickly as well. And then we can set this order on here and move to buy and sell. So it gets quicker. It's it should only take you about 15 minutes, if that, to go through 3 currency pairs. If you're going to trade 3 currency pairs, to do the analysis and put on some pending orders, should only take you a couple of minutes to do that. And the cool thing here is what your maximum risk is going into the trade. The cool thing here is once that's your maximum risk is this, but once your profit's been hit, the software automatically moves your stop loss to break even +1, and it protects the trade, giving you an opportunity to let the trade run without any fear of it coming back and taking you out for a loss. So that's a great feature of the software. So let's do one more. We'll do it very quickly, kind of go full speed on the US yen. So the USD JPY. Let's just have a look here one more time, very, very quickly, just to show how it can actually occur during kind of a real-time analysis. We're currently trading at 104.24. We'll refresh our template. So 104.24, popping right down here. We have channel bottom 104.05. We have a channel top at 104.91. 104.05 is a 3 of 3 channel, by the way. Check that out. Take note of that. 104.05, short-term, mid-term, and long-term channel bottom. So I want to make note that that's a 3 of 3 channel. Support resistance tells us that we've got support at 104.09. I would favor 104.05 over that, which is right below it. If we break through that, 103.47. To the upside, we have 104.39. And from there, 104.91, which is also our channel top. Trending or oscillating for the day? Well, looks like we're in a bit of a downward trend right now. We had some bad U.S. news. Well, it wasn't really bad, but it was interpreted as that. Maybe just repositioning, waiting for Bernanke to talk. Don't really know, do we? And we've also got Philly Fed coming up in about 30 minutes. So will be an odd day. I don't think we'll do much today. So in a bit of a downward trend, though. The big question, though, is have we broken our channel? Can it be broken above 104.91 or below 104.05? And the answer there is no, 104.91. Look at that. It was right to the pip and just about, and then reversed off of that back down. So now we're heading down to a very key channel at 104.05. News, yep, we know that there is news coming up. ADR, well, we're about 74 pips today. This has been trading in about an 80 pip range, a little lower when you factor in some of the recent channels that we've been in. But the no-brainer move here, 3 of 3 channel. Forex Joe tells us if we're coming to a key level like that, we want to take note and take a trade. So we're going to look to 104.05 as a big level. We're going to hide behind the whole number of 104 and keep our stop loss right down here a bit lower. We'll go about 10 pips on this one, 10 pip stop, and then we'll look to take profit about the same way as well. So we'll look to take profit 1 at about 10 pips, and then I'll set my take profit 2 up here at the thermal grid. Let it stretch out if we do get there and bounce. So, but we're going to look to take our profit very quickly off of this. So we'll put a move to buy right here, and then for sell opportunities, again, we have a channel top that was very well supported, or very well resisted, if you want to call it that, because that's what it is. It's a resistance area. And so we can go ahead and put in a trade here as well on our channel top, a little bit wider range, but we know that this has a little bit more volatility in the yen than we might have in other pairs. Take that of the thermal grid. Take that of the thermal grid. All right. And then once those are on, we can click Move to Sell, and that's all we have to do. We're in our trades at that point. So that's what we do. That's the application of utilizing the daily regimen along with the daily reports. It's pretty quick. I mean, it took us 30 minutes to go through it, but we spent a lot of time on the Euro USD. It's really a very fast process. Like I said, you can do 3 currency pairs in about 15 minutes. So if you're looking for something where you can take advantage of intraday trades, but if you've just got a few minutes in the morning, maybe before work, maybe before your primary income source, then you go and you can utilize this to set it up, go through, look at your trades, look at your charts, look at your daily reports. Also, be sure to look at the trades Forex Joe gives us every day here in the alerts, and you can just take a second to park these trades. Just takes you a few minutes, and then you can get on with your day, whatever that might be. Going to work, like I said, primary income source. Maybe you're taking care of your kids, go to school, get them ready for that, take them to classes, whatever it might be. It's a great way to participate in the market with just really a few minutes a day without having to be there every second to babysit if you don't have the time to spend to focus in the markets all day long. All right, so there it is. I'll go ahead and mute my mic and turn it over to Forex Joe and see what additional words of wisdom he has for us for the day.
Okay, good morning, Brian. Good morning, everyone. Kind of taking a look at some of these currency pairs. We've seen kind of a huge movement here in the last hour up for the Euro-US dollar, and I really don't see why it's happening. It seems to be market-driven and not news-driven. It's dollars under pressure after the inflation and jobless claims report. I kind of put the claims report and the CPI number in there, and they were pretty much expected. So we just had a push up from about the 136 area all the way up to near 3450, 3448 area. Now it's back down to 3638. When this happens, when you get this kind of move with no news to back it up, it's best to let it play out and then fade it. So those of you that are using a 15-minute chart, you saw like 1, 2, 3, 4 candles that moved up at one spike. It came back, and then you had a red candle. Now it's kind of fluctuating around 3638. The only, do we have any other news left today, Brian? I wasn't paying attention, so we might be waiting to see what news comes out. And then I know that we're getting Bernanke to speak. Let me check real quick.
Yeah, we've got PMI, Philly PMI, and then Bernanke.
Yeah, so the Philly PMI might be
Philly
important.
Fed, rather, not PMI. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, and then Bernanke.
Okay, so I'll be a little cognizant of what's happening there, but for the rest of the day, I would consider selling the rallies in this pair if you're scalping or day trading. If you're swing trading, I just kind of remain on the sidelines and be patient because we're still waiting for any type of movement. So once again, I would see anything above 36.40 to 36.50 when it reverses off 36.50, look for a reversal there, or if it gets above 36.40, reversal off 36.40, and just scalp your 5 to 10 pips, and then take profit one. If you're able to get catch a little bit of a drop, maybe it'll come back down to the 36.20-25 range. The other part of the equation is that you just had the stock markets open up. We'll see what gold and silver does if you're going to be trading under current market conditions. All right, I don't have much to say on the pound dollar. I took a look at it real quick. The pound dollar pretty much has had a spike up for about 45 minutes, and then it's come back down, so it's range bound. Going to the U.S. yen, if the U.S. yen goes below 104, and say we get to the 103.90 area and reverses, then you may have a buy at 104.01. That may not set up until later on tonight, but that's something to take a look at. Okay. The low is actually 140.20-25 areas when you're going to see this may be the end of the buffet line, because right around 140.20-25 there should be a lot of support of what I'm seeing as far as volume. So those of you that might be playing this market, look for any bounces off 120 and try to maybe pick up some pips. If it see that it stays above this 104.20, back up to the 104.30 range. I'm not going to be participating. I'm going to be shutting down and seeing what's happening for the rest of the day. You took a look at what's transpired with the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar broke below 87.80, and then we've had kind of a rebound back up. You take a look at the Kiwi dollar, and the Kiwi dollar's kind of bounced back up. The U.S. Canadian's above 109, and then as we got up near the 109.30-35 area, we've had kind of a retreat. If the U.S. CAD goes below 109 to the 108.90 area, then quite possibly look for another reversal and 109.01 if you're going to trade here during the day. The pound yen, I went into a lot of detail, sending out a roundtable email, and then I kind of updated and sent everybody an email what was happening here and the trades that Kirk participated in. And then Kirk just told me as I was doing this, I did this earlier this morning, that all of his trades just got shut off. So give you an update of the 4 trades that he placed for the 3 days, and this started with the roundtable email earlier this week, and then the next day we put it into the trade alerts for the last couple of days. There was 4 trades that were generated, and this is just Kirk's personal trades. We're going to take screenshots of these, and I'm going to do a training over the weekend. We'll have this in the members area next week of how to follow swing trades. But this was a specific trade, swing trade that we had. It was our first huge one of the year for the roundtable members, and the results scored quite well. So far, the 4 trades with 1 pair in 3 days went from the 169 area to the 172.53 area for bouncing. It's currently at the 170.55 area. It generated 1,111 pips. That's our 200 pip monthly goal. What I'm going to be doing, if you're a roundtable member, is I'm going to be trying to look for Euro yen, pound yen, Euro Aussie, these type of pairs that have been moving of late, and try to focus on a pair a month and try to get the 200 pips, because what transpired in the latter part of 2013, besides the U.S. yen, which was the main trender, and at some points the pound, it was quite frustrating for some of the moves to catch some of the moves. But I think anybody would take 1,000 pips in 3 days with 4 trades, and all Kirk's doing is just using our techniques. I give out 2 trades, and then he was using what the software was giving him, and our rules of engagement and techniques of when if it went below a certain number, coming back up and just adding to the positions. Now, those of you that are not adding to positions, here's something of substance. We spent 2 boot camps all right, talking about scaling in and adding positions in trending pairs. If you're having issues in this area, review this in the boot camp and then send in questions and let us know how we can help you. There was a lot of questions that I addressed, kind of put them all in the boot camp, in the roundtable email today. Then I sent an abbreviated version out to everyone, sharing with you the trades. And I did all this work, and then what happened, lo and behold, here in the last half hour or so, we've had a move down. And once again, this move, I think, might be just everybody taking profit for the end of the week. If you kind of put into consideration, let's think that we're coming off the holidays. We've had kind of a crazy December. You had 2 weeks where people were taking off. Then all of a sudden, the first week, we had non-farm payroll last week, and then we had some movement. So what's happened is, some of the traders are taking profit, and you've got Friday to where there might be some profit taking. Monday's a holiday here in the U.S. It's Martin Luther King Day. So some of the traders just drove these markets without it not being news-driven. So this is something to pay attention to and make sure that you understand. Now, one of the other areas of substance that we need to start paying attention to is that our Treasury Secretary, Jack Lew, is getting upset with Congress. We still have one big enchilada left. That's February 7th deadline for the debt ceiling. Okay? We've already taken care of our business here as far as coming up with a budget. They conveniently did that after the election to help everyone. But Lou is saying that the Congress has to act, that it will be a mistake if they let it go to the last minute, that it will continue to cause damage, that the debt limit stalemate fundamentally hurts the U.S. standing around the world, and that, let's get up off our butts, let's quit having political anxiety in the markets, and let's come up with a solution. So that'll be interesting to see if that causes any rumble in what's happening in Washington, D.C., and if we get a rumble from that, then let's see if we can get some action, because if they're able to settle that deadline, you've already had some of the Fed guys that's already said that they're going to go ahead. They're not going to let the bad non-farm payroll number take away from them still dumping another $10 billion here towards the latter part of this month. And the FOMC meetings, I think, the last couple of days of this month. So that's part two of the equation and what we're going to be waiting on here to take place. Right now, I've given you some ranges. Brian's given you some actual information. You should have enough information. Are there any questions before I hand it back over to Brian? I'll be happy to answer any of those questions. You have a plethora of information. You got plenty of material to keep you busy. I would encourage each and every one of you to stay focused and stay focused in the currency pair that you're trading, along with all the information that we are giving out. Okay? All right. Don't see any questions. Brian, I'll hand it back over to you. And we appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, Monday's a holiday. I'll go ahead and give you the schedule. I'll send out the reports for Friday night and then Monday, the early Sunday night report. It'll be a quick one. Monday night, we'll take a look at the market, see if there's been much move. We'll probably go ahead and have a report Monday afternoon for Tuesday. So the reports will still be there. I doubt if there'll be a roundtable update unless I see something of substance over the weekend. There may or may not be one. So if you don't get one, don't worry about it. Back over to you, Brian, and you're doing a fantastic job. Let's stay the course, my friend.
All right. Thank you very much, Forex Joe. Well, yeah, that's it for us then. We've covered a few pairs, as I mentioned. Again, a lot of news today. I'm staying out on the sidelines, but we've walked through the process of how we would do this under a normal trading day. So we'll resume that back here. Even though Monday's a holiday, we're going to do our quick. We have a quick class Monday night that we'll do just our setup class, and then we're back here on Tuesday for our live morning classes where we look at the live conditions first thing as the U.S. market is getting underway. So we'll be back here next Tuesday for our morning classes, but we will have that quickie Monday night where we just walk through, how to use the software, how to utilize the data reports, kind of on a longer-term basis to look for key levels. All right, so thanks for being here with us. I really appreciate it. Let's see, question popping in. What time is the Philly thing? The Philly thing, Daniel, is at 10 o'clock, so 10, 15 minutes. And then we have an hour after that, we have Bernanke starting to speak. So may not see much happening actually until Bernanke speaks. And then from there, it's kind of all bets off. It'll just depend on what sound bites he happens to spew from his word hole. So anyway, that's it for me for today. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great one. Bye.